All right. This message is from Mr. Israel. Because Israel, is it Benin? But it's from Nigeria. So he said, "Good evening, the great Lion King. I mean the Lion King master." Yes, thank you. I'm talking to you from Sapele in Delta State. Okay, so you've had it. Please, for the past few weeks, I noticed my Peugeot 406 with EW10J4 engine is soaking my spark plugs. And at every 3 days, I always change my spark plugs, and a mechanic told me it's a sign of weak engine. Not until recently, an electrician discovered 2 fuel injectors no longer produce or spray fuel. Goes on to say, and he suggested is an engine ECU problem. Of course, my engine ECU is free code, and I was told that I have to flash it before it can work. Now, I'm worried with many advice from different mechanics and engineers. Please, I trust your vast experience and professionalism that can save me. Please advise. Okay, he said, please, I trust your vast experience and professionalism can save me. Please advise. Okay, not until recently. Okay, guys. Let me talk to you directly, because this video is meant for you, even though I know some other people may also gain from it. I need to be on the move right now. Okay, right, here we go. So, Mr. Israel, thanks for your appreciation. However, the issue with your Peugeot 406, where he said it doesn't, one of the electricians discovered that 2 of the fuel injectors they don't spray fuel anymore. So, and of course, what that means is it's from the engine ECU, because engine ECU controls the fuel injectors via ground pulse that supplies negatives. It supplies negative, or more like what we call Earth. So it does that by giving it ground supply, on and off intermittently. Goes on, releases, gives, release, supplies, takes it back. So that's how the injector works. Why your fuse box, depending on the model, either your fuse box or your injection relay, as a multifunction injection relay, supplies positive permanent or constantly to the fuel injectors. So that's how the fuel injectors work. So if 2 injectors, because it's only 1 wire that comes from that injection relay to the fuel injectors, at least in most of the Peugeot electrical systems. So meaning that if one or 2 injectors suddenly stop getting power supply, it means 2 things. Either there's a wiring connection that the supply, there's a discommunication between those 2 injectors to the fuse box on the injection relay, which is unlikely, or that the ECU has stopped supplying ground pulse, or ground pulse to those 3 or those 2 or 1 fuel injectors. So which is likely may be your own case. from my understanding, I think I've done a video. I've responded to one of your questions, 2 videos before, and I think it was a converted car, converted from diesel to petrol, if I'm not mistaken, unless this is a different vehicle. So there's every possibility that the conversion was not properly done electrically. So it's also meaning there could be a wrong wiring connection that is messing up your engine ECU. Now, speaking of engine ECU, he said it's a free code. That's the worst thing you could do. I always tell people, don't do that nonsense. I know people do it because it's cheaper and all those crap. Forget it. Especially Peugeot 406. If your engine ECU becomes faulty or starts to malfunction, you have 2 options. Either you buy a brand new engine ECU and program it to work with the current BSI and the key in the vehicle, or you search for a used engine ECU, the complete kit that comes with the engine, with the BSI unit and the key. No, I mistakenly said engine. That's 3 things. It must come with the engine ECU, the BSI unit and the key. They've already been synced together. But when you go and get those ones they call free codes, you are just looking for problem. It's just a question of time. The engine ECU is going to fail. So there's also a possibility that your engine ECU is the problem and not your wiring connection. Probably it has started to crash. Now I know there are cases where suddenly the engine ECU will shut some cylinders down. Yeah, it do happen. It does happen. On a few occasions I've had to step in and then have it sorted out. All you need to do is to reset the engine ECU. Sometimes when you clear, you put your system, clear the fault with a scan code, a scan tool or diagnostic tool. When you do that, it starts to control those injectors that you shut down before. So yes, it's possible that all you need to do is to reset your ECU or clear it or whatever you want to do. Just start with a simple tool. Just scan the engine ECU to know what's going on there. Just scan it and then everything will be sorted. Yeah, that could fix it. Of course, that's the cheapest way to go about it without touching anything. We have, scan it first. From there, whatever you find, you can now decide what to do. Clear the fault. If after clearing the fault and the issue remains, you continue to do the same thing, then you're also likely to have to replace the engine ECU. But the question is, if the problem or the cause is from the wires, that probably somebody messed up the wire from the wires or whatever that goes to the engine ECU, and so which crashes the engine ECU or damages it every now and then. Putting another engine ECU have not solved the problem. Yeah, if you put it may work for a while and it goes back to the same problem. So problem have not, yeah, temporarily yes, you solve the problem, but it's going to come back. So you have to rule out the connection. In that case, you need an expert to go through the wiring of that vehicle to know if the source of that issue is from the wires. If it's not from the wires, then that is after you scan the vehicle and clear the faults and the issue continues. Of course, if it's clear scan the vehicle, you may even point to you that the problem is from the engine ECU. If that is the case, no point. Even clearing the fault will not even solve the problem. So your case is I don't know how do I even put it, because it's not everything. All these things I would say is more like a guesswork. Yes, I know these are the okay, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. If it's this is how to fix it. If it's that, this is what to do. Yes, but at the end of the day, this kind of issue is something one has to physically check. There's no such thing as, You are an expert in this, so you must know what to do without seeing the vehicle. If a white man or a non-Nigerian, somebody call me from outside Nigeria, especially from Europe, and complain to me about this kind of issue, I already know what to do. I don't need to be saying all these things. It will just take me a minute to tell him this is where you go to. Don't even bother about that. But because of Nigerians, the way Nigerians handle their Peugeot cars electrically, trust me, you'll be surprised that eventually it may end up being a wiring connection. Even if it's not the case in yours, but most times it's a wiring issue. So you may end up telling the person, okay, if your engine ECU shut down 2 cylinders, this is go and clear the fault, that will solve the problem. Or go and reset the engine ECU, that's the problem. Or change engine ECU, that's the problem. Because that's not normal circumstances. If the vehicle has the wiring has not been tampered, that's where all these things are listed at the places you are supposed to go to. But for Nigeria, honestly, you will be surprised what people do to their cars. You have to first of all rule out the wiring connections. You have to do that, because the things people do on their vehicles, not just Peugeots, but their vehicles, Nigerians, they just they just connect every night here and there, just be joining wires to see if the vehicle will start or the problem will go away. In the process of trying to do all those shortcuts or try and error, they are creating more problems. They will eventually surface themselves over time. So I know you're expecting me to tell you, oh, go and change your engine ECU, that's the problem. Oh, go and scan your car, that's the problem. You can't get it like that. The vehicle is not before me. Otherwise, if I'm doing you guesswork, there's no difference between me and all those quack people, electricians or mechanics that ruin people's car or abuse vehicles. So cases like yours is something I have to physically see to know what the issue is. Yeah, I know your symptoms. It's not. It's things I come across every now and then in my car repair business or services. But then, like I said, every scenario is different. I mean, see a vehicle with this same symptom you are having, only to find out that the issue has to do only with the engine ECU. You change it. The second day, another person brings the same vehicle with the same symptom, only to find out that the problem is from the wires. So it's not like it must be A or B. No, I don't know what the issue is in yours. Like I said, I think there was a time you said the vehicle was converted from diesel to petrol. So the problem may be coming from the conversion. That they didn't change the complete wire. They tried to do some cut and join to make it work, and now it's affecting your engine ECU. So, or it's possible they did it right, but the engine ECU they put, just like you say, free code. Of course, the free code is not reliable. Free code means they tamper with the engine ECU to make it work with any BSI unit. So, which eventually crash the engine ECU once you open it and start messing up with it. I don't advise you to buy free code. So there is, even if the problem is not from that engine ECU, that is all you need to do is to it's still going to happen, fail. Trust me. As long as is that what you call that thing you call free code, is going to crash. And the day is going to pack you up. You'll be surprised. It may even be the day you are not even ready, or you can't afford to deal with it. It may be you are traveling, all of a sudden your engine will just shut down, and that's all. You will never start until you replace the engine ECU. I don't want it to happen to you when you are in a journey. Trust me, because it's not every part of the country that you can get the engine ECU. It means you may have to travel thousands of kilometers away from where your vehicle is parked to get a replacement. So I would suggest you first of all, I don't know that side Delta, I don't know anybody there. I would have said, okay, let me recommend a good electrician that can come over there to inspect the vehicle wires. I'm not interested in the mechanical right now. It's the wires that you should focus on. But of course, the easiest thing to do is to put scan 2. Start from there. Clear the fault. If it continues, then you get rid of that ECU. But before you do that, you check the wires, because if the problem is on the wires, there's no point. The engine ECU has already been affected. Only that before you put another one, you have to check to be sure that you've corrected whatever connections, wrong connection they've done there. See, if you are doing a conversion, especially 406, and it's from diesel to petrol, V6 to 4-cylinder, whatever it is, see, you have to change the complete wire from the rear of the car to the front. Because the body wire, the one they call dashboard wire, is different on various depending on the engine of the vehicle. Maybe EW10 to EW7J4, they're basically the same connection. But V6, EW12J4, they are not the same with EW7 or EW10J4 engines in Peugeot 407, not to even talk about diesels. So because the connection from the body wire to the engine bay has to work with the engine ECU, so they are not the same. So if you want to make it work, it means you have to start cutting and joining all those things, and eventually you may mess up your car. So those are the things. It's better you buy complete wire from that they remove from. If you are putting EW10J4 engine, make sure it's from the same 406 with the same body wiring system. Like the BSI and the BSM is meant for that wire. Don't go and buy 406 that has a partial CAN-bus system. That's 2000 and let's say you buy a wire remove from a 406 with 2002 or 2003 model and to put it in a Peugeot 406 that has a VAN-bus BSI or BSM. That's the engine bay fuse, but it will not work. So you have to make sure it's exactly that system, or you change the fuse bus on the BSI to match with the wire, for the system to match with the wire you are putting. So these are the things. It's very technical. It's not something you just give a quack person. So it's somebody that understands the Peugeot system, that will know electrically, that will know, okay, this is how to do this conversion electrically. If you are converting a modern Peugeot car, understand that electrical conversion is even the most part of it, not even the mechanical. All right, I hope this I was giving you at least an insight to what to do. Hopefully you find resolve the problem. All right.